folks, welcome back to another episode of Intoxicating Kitchen. This one is going to be quick and short. It's just a little side dish, but it's something that I make for friends and family. It's definitely not a keto dish. This is going to be dill potatoes roasted. We can do these on the grill, which I prefer to do in foil, or you can do them in the oven too. So let's get started. First, we're going to use baby potatoes. We're going to cut those so they're in about 1-inch chunks. You don't have to use baby potatoes. You can use russet potatoes. You can use fingerling potatoes. Any kind of potatoes you want. I just like these. Not that I eat them often, but my family and friends do. So if I'm cooking, if they're not keto, this is a dish I make for them. This is about 1.5 pounds of potatoes that we're going to work with this time. I have washed these potatoes and making sure they didn't have any of the little potato eyes on them. Washed them and let them dry. Alright, our potatoes are ready. So we're going to set this aside. And then to our potatoes, we are going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of garlic, 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder, 1.5 teaspoons of pepper, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. We're also going to add a little bit of bacon that we had left over. If you have some bacon, you could do 1 or 2 slices of bacon. To that, we're going to add some actual bacon fat, because that's what's going to keep these nice and moist. About 1/4 cup of bacon fat. I'm also going to add some butter. About 3 tablespoons of butter. Then we're going to get some dill chopped up and put in there. I'm going to use a couple tablespoons of dill, good size amount of dill, because that's what this is about, as being dill potatoes. This container is about 1/2 ounce, and I'm going to use almost the whole thing for this. You can also use, if you don't have fresh dill, you can use dill that's already in a jar. If you do, you're going to want to double that. The fresh dill is much more flavorful. And we don't need to chop that up real fine, just a nice good general chop on that. Get that into our bowl. And then also, I like to add some scallions. I have my scallions that I wash when I get them home, and I put them in a jar so that they keep growing. You see how long these get. I take and I clip these off. You'll see they'll get some brown on them. You just clip that off and you're good to go. I just clip that off with my scissors and just cut that in. And cut it to whatever size you want. There we go. We're going to get this mixed up, and then we're going to put some aluminum foil out and spread this out on it, and we'll show you what that looks like in just a second, as soon as we get this all nice and mixed. Alright, our potatoes are all mixed up. Now we're going to take some foil. We're going to need a few good pieces of foil, because we're going to wrap this up and we don't want it leaking all over the grill. We're going to wrap it a couple times. We'll start with a double for this side. We're going to get those potatoes onto it nice and spread out. Make sure you get all those herbs and that butter and that goodness in with them, because that's what's going to make them taste so good. Try to get them as centered as you can. We're going to fold this up, and then we're going to wrap it another way too, just to make sure. So, once you get it out on the foil, this is what you really need to do. It's the magic that keeps these tasting so good. We're going to add ice cubes. We're going to just strategically place them in here. We'll see, depending on how many potatoes you're doing. We're going to put about 6 ice cubes in here. What this does is it helps steam the potatoes and helps cook them a little bit faster. So we're going to get these rolled up. This is pretty tight, so we're going to also wrap in another direction just to make sure that it doesn't leak all that goodness out of them while we cook them on the grill. These are going to go on the grill on your medium heat grill, hopefully about 350 for about 20 minutes, and you're going to turn them about every 10 minutes so they don't cook too much and burn. You can also do them in the oven on a sheet pan at 350 for about 20 to 30 minutes and stir them every 10 minutes. You put them in the oven, you don't need to put the ice cubes on them. As you can see, I have smaller foil, so that's why I'm double wrapping it, because it's not sealing real good there. And I know it's making a lot of noise, sorry about that. We're going to get these rolled up. We're going to get them out on the grill, and we'll meet you out there. All right, you can see our grill is only just over 300, so we're probably going to turn it up a little bit, but we're going to get these potatoes on. We're going to open this up, and I have all of my burners on. I'm going to put them right in the middle, and we're going to come back and check those and flip them. You can't really check them, you just flip them in about 10 minutes. All right guys, our temperature is up. You can hear those just a bubbling in there. We're going to flip this over. We're going to let that go for another 10 minutes, and then we're going to flip them back again. And then we'll take them in and open them up and see how they are. It's been about a half hour. We flip these potatoes every 10 minutes. They should be done. Make sure you have some really good mitts to get those off. We're going to put them on our sheet pan. We're going to take them in, and we'll cut those open and show you what they look like. All right, folks, we've got those potatoes off the grill. They've been resting for about 10 minutes. We're going to get these opened up and get them in a pan. They are pretty hot. That foil gets really warm. We're just going to cut a slit down the middle with our knife. I've got a few layers of foil here. Oh, those smell really good. Let's get these opened up. Again, make sure you have some mitts because these do get hot. I have silicone oven mitts here. I'm going to leave one on. I'm going to get these scooped up and put them in a bowl. Oh, I can smell all that dill and the butter and the bacon. Let's see if this is cool enough. If you get it cool enough, you can lift it up and just dump it into that bowl. I think we might be pretty close to that. We'll dump those pretty quick. The foil's still pretty warm. Get all that goodness out of there, that bacon that we dumped in, all that dill, all those potatoes up in the corner. A few of them on the tray, that's why we left that tray there. There we go. We have that. We're going to add just a little bit more butter. We're going to add about another tablespoon and a half of butter. And my hands are all black from the foil, from being on the grill. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, stir those up. Get that butter melted in with those. And those are ready for friends and family as a good side dish. Thanks for watching. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Leave your comments down below and hit that notification bell to see what's coming up next. Thank you. Have a great day. Yo folks, we have our roasted magic dill potatoes. You can top those with some Mexican cheese or your cheese of choice, some sour cream, and I put a little bit of chives on top. Enjoy!